First, none of us wants to feel pain, and we're especially protective when it comes to our children.
But what if your child couldn't feel any pain? That's a rare condition that so far has been diagnosed in only a handful of people. And as Juju Chang tells us, what sounds like a blessing turns out to be a curse.
In many ways, Gabby Gingras is a typical 7-year-old girl. She goes to gym class with other third graders, loves playing board games.
Okay, a miscellaneous 3.
And idolizes her older sister Katie. But in one very dangerous way, Gabby is not a typical little girl. She can't feel pain and is at constant risk of badly hurting herself. She's wearing a helmet and those goggles for a reason, but we'll get to that in a minute. This video was taken as part of a documentary called A Life Without Pain when Gabby was 4. Here, she bangs into the sharp corner of a table, but just keeps on going. And see how unfazed she is when this dog collides with her? For the first 4 months of her life, Gabby was the perfect little baby. It wasn't until she started teething that her parents, Steve and Trish, noticed some odd behavior.
I was massaging Gabby's gums one day, and she bit down on me ungodly hard. And when I pulled my finger out of her mouth, I pulled the tooth out of her mouth. She's just happy playing like nothing happened.
It was as if she didn't even feel it. And that was just the beginning. The 4-month-old would teeth on anything. Plastic toys, hardcover books, even her own fingers, until they were bloody.
She damaged them so badly, it really looked like raw hamburger. It was that chewed up and mangled.
She would also chew on her tongue like it was bubble gum.
It was bizarre and frightening. Steve and Trish brought Gabby to doctor after doctor. For months, specialists tested the baby for everything, from metabolic diseases to rare genetic disorders, and ruled out one disease after another.
Trish reached the frustration point, and she sat down at the computer and basically spent the whole weekend on the internet, searching and looking, and she found some pictures of kids with fingers that looked like Gabby's, just chewed up and mutilated. So that was the first time we'd heard the term hereditary sensory autonomic neuropathy.
HSAN. It's an extremely rare genetic disorder that affects the sensory nerves. In Gabby, the nerve fibers that detect pain and temperature never developed. There is no cure. Imagine their tug of war trying to give Gabby a normal childhood.
Careful on the steps.
But wanting to protect her.
I'm the worst playground mom. I mean, because I'm like, oh, don't climb that high, please.
Oh, too fast. You want to hop down.
Like most people, you've probably never heard of HSAN. Then again, maybe you saw it featured recently on Grey's Anatomy.
There. Can I go now?
That didn't even hurt.
The real-life Gabby is just as courageous.
How about your teeth? What happened to your teeth? Oh, I heard you have one tooth. Where is it? I don't see it. Where is it? Oh, I see it. It's on the top. And do you have a name for it? Toothy.
The Gingrasses, on their doctor's advice, had all of Gabby's baby teeth pulled to keep her from injuring herself. But that caused her adult teeth to grow in early, and Gabby knocked out all but one of those.
I'm thinking, here's my beautiful little girl. She's not going to have any teeth. People are going to make fun. They're going to think we're awful, everything that goes through your mind.
The plan is to have dentures made when she's done growing. But what terrifies Gabby's parents the most is the fear that she could make herself blind.
Tell me about how the eye problem started.
She had just turned 1. She woke up from a nap, and I thought, oh, there's a little bit of fuzz or fluff in her eye. It wasn't fuzz. There was a real mark on her cornea. So I quickly called the local doctor, and they were just stunned. He said, if you had this, you would be in such excruciating pain you couldn't open your eye.
Gabby's left eye was so badly damaged that her doctor literally stitched her eyelid shut in a desperate bid to save her vision.
Because she doesn't feel the pain of it, she ripped her own stitches out.
Steve came up with the idea of using swim goggles to protect Gabby's eyes. But it was already too late. She'd lost the vision in her left eye, and now it was at risk of developing into a life-threatening infection. The only solution was a drastic one: remove the injured eye.
It just brings back those images of the hospital and letting her go on the gurney, and you know, it's no parent should ever have to watch their child do that.
Today, Gabby has an artificial left eye.
You want to see how beautiful it looks?
I want to see my first second.
She wears a protective contact lens over the right one, which is also damaged. For good measure, she uses safety glasses during the day and those swim goggles at night.
You all set?
Yeah.
Comfy?
Despite all these precautions, Gabby still manages to hurt herself constantly.
Careful.
Do kids like Gabby reach adulthood?
How old does that make you? 6 years old? Wow.
Can they have normal lives? Experts aren't even sure.